Beach FM, locals talking to locals.
Time to say good morning to the chair of the Otaki Community Board, Chris Papps, who's got to rush out to another meeting here. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning, Nigel. Morning, everybody. Another beautiful day in Otaki.
Yeah, it is.
The sun keeps shining up here.
It does indeed. Yes, you've sent some down to us today as well. We're quite pleased.
Oh, that's good.
Good.
We'll share it about.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. Now, you've got an important meeting, they tell me. Otaki calls important community meeting on the Waste Community Forum Wednesday the 13th. What's that all about?
That's the Transition Towns. It's actually been organised by them. It's not a council organised meeting or a community board organised meeting. It's Transition Towns are organising it. And it's really a discussion and to see how we can actually reduce our waste and our waste to landfill, and to better incentivise people to actually recycle, reuse and dispose of their waste in a friendly manner. I'm definitely going to go. They actually, when I sort of read, I thought, oh yes, they came to the community board for a grant to help fly someone here for this presentation or this meeting. So I'm definitely going to go. It looks like it'll be very, very interesting, and every little bit you can not put in a landfill helps.
Yes, it does. You've got your own landfill up there in Otaki, haven't you?
We've got a transfer station. Transfer station,
is it? Is that all it is? So where does your rubbish go to?
I'm assuming ours goes with the rest of it up Hokio Beach way, where everywhere else's goes.
Right. Well, this is a timely meeting because I think Levin is starting to think, well, we're going to run out of space up here before long because we're taking everybody's rubbish. So, yes, very timely. So you've got a fairly important panel there. You've got Glenn O'Connor, Lucy Montgomery, Councillor James Coote's going to be there.
It's going to be very, very interesting, I think, and I mean, it's time to think about it. The way everything's going with them, you just see that there's piles of plastic bottles everywhere, and it's, we really need to sit down and take check and really think about what we're doing with our waste.
Yeah, that's dead right.
It's not going to get any better unless we actually do something positive, and it's going to take everybody to really get on board. And you start with a small group, and hopefully it swells, and everybody soon starts to realise that, hey, do I really need to throw this away, and do I need this plastic? I think the supermarkets, they're going a long way with the plastic bags, but I think they really should start looking at the cling film they put around everything, around the cucumber wrapped in cling film.
Yeah, sure.
And even their meat and everything wrapped in, with cling film around it. Perhaps there's no other way, but it sort of takes a little bit of extra thinking to maybe do something a bit better.
Well, small steps. I mean, I've got into the habit now of taking my own bag into the supermarkets. It takes a while to get into that habit. But
yes, I normally leave mine in the car.
Well, that's right.
I get to the check and think, oh my gosh, it's in the car. So I just put everything back in the trolley. I'll pack it when I get to the car.
Well, that's right. And I've made myself go back to the car twice to... I thought, well, it's no use saying, no, I'll leave it this time. You've got to do it. So anyhow, that's going to be Wednesday, 13th of June, 7 o'clock to 8:45 at Otaki College.
At Otaki College in the staff room, which is a nice warm room. We have our community liaison group meetings there, so it's a lovely big open room, and I'm sure, hopefully, we will fill it to capacity. As many people as we can come along and just have a listen and just see what perhaps they can do to help.
Good on you, righto. Now, so Penny Gaylor was mentioning yesterday that the Greater Wellington Regional Council have given you ratepayers up there in Otaki a little compensation.
Well, yes. Well, I was James didn't mention last week, but I actually went in with the councillors and the mayor into Greater Wellington and put in our own submission from the Otaki Community Board on the transport or lack thereof in Otaki,
yes,
and also on access to the Whinstone Lake. So I actually got my 10 minutes, which was fabulous, and hopefully got the point across about our lack of bus service and the need for something extra. If they're going to charge us extra, give us the service. If not, don't make us pay for Porirua and Lower Hutt and all the other places that get a far superior service than we get.
Yeah, well, even from Waikanae South, that's where you're looking at, isn't it? The service that you don't get, we do get. Yeah.
Well, we can't get to that's the problem. Even if they just give us buses to get to the Waikanae railway station. I mean, I had an example where I had to go in and look after my grandchild, and I didn't need a car when I was in there, and I was going to get picked up about 2:30 from the station. The only bus I could get was 9:30 in the morning. The next one was 3 minutes past 3 in the afternoon.
Right.
So, I mean, it's ridiculous. We just don't have those connecting buses during the day for people to get anywhere. So it's basically a non-service we've got. No wonder people don't use it because there's not enough of it.
Okay, so how many buses extra would you like to see come down to the, say, Waikanai area?
Well, we don't have, start with, about another 4 or 5 a day, perhaps, going backwards and forwards, and it's coming home in the evening. People that work in Wellington, there's only the last bus, I think, is when the Capital Connection comes through.
Okay.
And, what use is that? If you miss the Capital Connection or the train that leaves just after, you're absolutely stuffed. You can't get back up to Otaki.
Right. So you put that point across, and now they're coming up and saying that they'll give you a 50% discount for not having the transport systems there. So that will be of some help, but not getting over the problem, is it?
No, that's right. We'd sooner have the problem solved, quite frankly. It would actually be far better for the people of Otaki if we had a far better public transport system. We've got the Capital Connection going through. That's good, but as I say, coming home at night, it leaves Wellington about 5:15, so if you miss it, you can't get to Otaki.
Right.
And they're talking about 2 extra trains between Wellington and Palmerston, which is fantastic, but the timing of those is vital. And most of our people want to head south, not north, so that's what we're looking at, trying to get a far better service for our people here to actually get into Wellington to work or get down to Paraparaumu to work. The kids to get down to Paraparaumu and south to go to things like the New Zealand building that's opening up. Our teenagers can't get there, unless they've got a car themselves or parents can take them.
Right.
So there's just no way they can get down to use those facilities.
Do you have any buses in the weekend running between Otaki and Waikanai, Paraparaumu?
Very few. I think there's probably 2 a day. Don't quote me on that because I don't have the timetable on me at the moment, but I know there is not a lot.
Sure. Well, I wouldn't count your chickens too quickly about the extra trains from Waikanai to Otaki, because I think that's a fair way off, isn't it?
But the thing is that, electrification is great. It would be wonderful. That's the thing that everybody's screaming for. But if they're going to bring in these new hybrid trains, well, that's fantastic. They don't need to electrify. They don't need to double track. They just need to run a service between Otaki and Waikanai. And it doesn't need to be every half hour like it is from Waikanai into Wellington during the day, but it does need to get people backwards and forwards at reasonable times. If anyone from up here wants to go to the stadium, big game, you can't get there. You can't get home. So it's as I say, it's not fair.
Well, fair enough too. Okay, so anything else happening up in Otaki at the moment? The expressway's okay? Oh yeah, Penny mentioned that they planted 2,000 trees around your lake up there, so that's a big plus.
That was my other submission into Greater Wellington. We've got the Windstone, which we call the Windstone Lake. We're going to think about a better name for it, I think. And this is a lake that's going to be for public use. And at the moment, the local Wakarama kids train there, and the canoe water polo train there. And the kids have to get up at 4 in the morning to go and train because they can only get access to the lake when the quarry's not operational. Whereas there's a strip of land that Campbell Andrews has given an easement over to Greater Wellington for an access way into the lake, which would be safe off Tiroto Road. And that was the submission to get Greater Wellington to actually pull finger and do something about getting this access way going so that people can actually get in and use it, and then we can start thinking about infrastructure there and what else is going to happen there. Once the road's there, then we can start looking at a management plan and seeing what we're going to do there.
Yeah, we'll have a safer off or turning right to come off that road, State Highway 1, once that expressway goes through. It's pretty dangerous turning right there at the moment, isn't it?
We're back behind by the race course. It's perfect, and we've driven it. I took the mayor down there a couple of weeks ago and took some photographs, and he'd never seen it before, and he was totally impressed.
Great.
And it's, we could hold the national championships there, Wakarama, and there's the local little motorised boats, the people that have those motorised boats, remote control boats.
Yes, yeah.
They have them there, and it's fantastic. It's beautiful, clean water, and it's lovely.
Good on you. All right, Chris, I'll let you get away to your meeting, and we'll speak to you in a couple of weeks' time.
Okay, see you later.
Chris Papps, Chair of the Otaki Community Board.
106.3 Beach FM.